Hello everybody. I am wanting to come live from my classroom. I want to give you a quick update on what it looks like in here, as well as give you a little bit of a tour of my room as it stands right now. So join me just a second. I'm going to flip it around and show you what we're working on. Okay, so here is my room. We're starting here right at the door. So this is the door coming in. Immediately, you are going to see this is my iPad cart. This is where I store all of our student iPads. So I do need to relabel it. These are the labels from last year, but I label each of these shelves that correspond to the iPad, and then back in there will be a plug for each one of the iPads. And I use these little clips here to hold the charging cord. So I definitely need to be relabeling it, but not something I'm going to worry about right now because we're not doing tech right away. So I will do that probably the first week of school as we are doing that. So this is a nice cabinet. I wish I had the key to it, but I totally don't. This board that says December, this will be my math board. As you notice, there is nothing on my bulletin boards at this point other than some decorations. I really like to make sure that this is an opportunity for me to build what's going to go on there with my students. So before I put things up there, we're going to talk about it and make it meaningful. And as I walk across, this is going to be my main board. This is actually the board that my projector will project onto. So I need to keep it as clean as possible because it's going to have images projected on there. I have these two little shelves on either side. Not really sure what's going to go there right now, but needed a place to put them. And this is the Trofast bin that I picked up from a mom on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm going to be labeling all of these. These are going to be my hand-in bins as well as storage because my students are at tables. They don't have their materials with them. So I'm going to have a reading, a writing, and a grammar word work bin so that they can hand all of those in. And then there's going to be a math, a social studies, and a science, as well as frequently used pages on the bottom, including some of their math centers pages, their feedback form for writing, and I can't remember what I have in the other bin, but I've got those labels ready to go. And then I always like to have that little work hard and do your best. This is my agenda board. This is what I write on every week, and students will make sure that their agenda that they have will match what's on here. So I will write anything that comes up, and I've stored my markers up nice and high. I have the benefit of being much taller than my students, so I can reach them and hopefully they can't. This blank section will be a focus board, and on here I will have the date at the top, and then I will have our subjects that we are studying. I still need to make the labels for those, but I always write what it is we're working on at that point so that they know what subjects they are, and they can always fill in their agendas with that information as well, so their parents know what subjects we're working on for each subject that I'm teaching. Moving right along, this is my weekly schedule. This is on a bulletin board or a blackboard that's been painted, and they're just schedule cards on like magnet sheets, and they're not great. Sometimes they don't stick and they fall off, but I like to have my schedule for the entire week set so that students can see it, and then I can change things around if needed. But this way I'm not changing my schedule every single day because that's too much for me. So I like to have the whole schedule laid out there. And if I need to change or move some things around, I can. But obviously I need to remake the period one because that's missing. But this is my schedule for the time being. And then I have a calendar where I will add these little cards. They're just regular paper that I've copied onto colored cardstock and laminated, and these will go up there, and I just add the new day every day. And then I have underneath here is my book shelf, one of the bookshelves, and I've been in the process of labeling them. So all the ones where you don't see the spine, those are ones that I ran out of labels for and need to relabel those books. But it's a process. And here is my board. I'm not really sure what to do with this board because it's got the big PA system smack dab in the middle of a bulletin board, but we'll figure it out. I'll figure out something to put there. And then I have our printer and my literacy schedule, which won't get started until about the third week of school, but it's up there ready to go. I also have some flexible seating options as well for students to use. Those are just ottomans that I got a couple years ago at Value Village, and bought some shower curtain also at Value Village and just sewed kind of a slip cover for them. Here is the other bookshelf that still needs to be sorted. And then I have this really long blackboard, and I'm going to use that for my language. So right now it just has subject headings and then a nice little kind of back to school quote there. And right in front of that is my guided small group table, some more flexible seating options, including lap desks. And then going around further, we have my tables, and these are my table bins. The thing holding the little flower is actually just a toilet paper roll holder that I got at Dollarama, and it's a great way to kind of add a little pop of color to the table. And moving around, we've got their book boxes at the back on top, and then math manipulatives on the bottom. So in here is where they're just going to keep all of their language notebooks and their independent reading books, and they're going to sit along this back wall. And there's their notebooks ready to go. I won't hand those out right away. I like to label them with their name, and that's something that can wait until after the first day. And then some extra paper storage there, some more math manipulatives. This little board will be my social studies board when it actually gets up. And then going around further, we have just some more random storage of science things and games and my DRA bin. This is a portion of my picture books that actually live at school, as well as some file folders that hold information, all of my curriculum document and teacher binders, which I've really purged down and really eliminated all of that. When I moved classrooms, that was definitely one of my goals was to reduce how much I had. This is just the information behind my desk. So there's my teacher desk, and I've got a sink behind me and all of this storage and some storage above there for things that I'm not frequently using. And then some flexible seating for some of my students that may need that, and some wobble chairs. And then this was a closet that I ended up painting. I do need to do a few touch-ups on that wall there, but this is a flexible seating option little cubby, and in there is also some yoga mats that people can grab and move out of the classroom or move around the classroom. But we definitely have my IKEA couch here in this little cubby section of the classroom. And then finally, the recycling garbage DPA bin, as well as agenda holders ready to go. And then there's my storage closet, which isn't very big, but it's there. And back to the front door. So kind of all at once. There's my text sitting on the table, but this is my classroom in a nutshell. So not a bad space. I'm pretty happy with it. Is it 100% done? No. No, it's not 100% done. There's still plenty of things that I need to do, but most of the stuff can be done that first week of school. Things like labeling of the books as I'm handing them out, that can be done. I'm going to label some bins at home so that I can bring them in on Tuesday and have those done there. But at this point, anything else that's not done right now, it's not getting done before the first day of school. And I got to be okay with that. So don't feel like absolutely everything needs to be done. It doesn't. Get as much done as you can, and then take some time for yourself. I'm taking off this afternoon, and I'm not coming in tomorrow. I'm going to take a long weekend, and I'll be back at it on Tuesday. So thank you so much for joining me for a tour of my classroom. And if you are working on your classroom now, I'd love to see a picture of what your classroom looks like at the end of your back to school getting it ready session. So feel free to post a picture of what your classroom looks like in the comments below this video. I'd love to see what your classrooms look like. Bye for now.